What is up, guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you, joined by the power of speakerphone with Dallas Stewart as we get ready for the 2022 NFL Week 5 game picks of Week 5. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Good win on good, exciting win on Sunday.
Yep, and a scoreagami, so 48-45. Our Seahawks got the win against the Detroit Lions in Detroit and got on the scoreagami board again for a score that's never happened, which was 48-45, which I just found that out recently. Our last scoreagami that we got on the board for a scoreagami was Super Bowl 48 when we kicked the crap out of Denver 43-8. But now let's get on to, we went 10-6 in Week 4, and now it's time to get on to Week number 5. First off, we'll start out with our game as the Seahawks go on to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints in the Big Easy. Another 10 a.m. start time. The Saints coming off of that loss where Will Lutz double doinked to try to tie the game and force overtime. Did not go through. Double doinked it for the loss. And meanwhile, we in Detroit, like we said, did a scoreagami in a high-scoring shootout where Geno Smith out-dueled Jared Goff and just had a good game. Difference maker, like I said, post-game, Tariq Woolen's pick six. Big-time difference maker as we got a win in a high-flying shootout against the Detroit Lions. Different story here. Saints coming back pissed after blowing that game in London. And, well, granted, they were down most of the time, but had a chance to get back in it and tie it, just double-doinked it. But I never sleep on that Saints defense. And with how bad our defense played, you know we can't sleep on the Saints offense. We don't know if they're going to be without Alvin Kamara, because I think he's going to be listed as questionable, or we'll see throughout the week. But, whew, man, as much as I hate to say it, though, I still got to take New Orleans. I still favor New Orleans in this because they got better offensive weapons that can carve up our defense, and our defense sure as hell needs a lot of work. So unfortunately, I got to take New Orleans. Hope I'm wrong again. Knock on wood. I mean, definitely was proud of the way Geno played, but remember that Saints defense got after him last year in Seattle, so I got to go New Orleans.
I have to go with New Orleans. I think they're a little bit more expert of a team. You got 1-3. And
Can you say that again, Dallas?
environment.
Yeah, playing in the Superdome is always tough, man. All right, let's get on to the other games. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to the Mile High in Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. The Indianapolis Colts last week just got freaking ran over by Derrick Henry as expected and the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos, man, are shot in the dark, man. They dropped one in Las Vegas to the Las Vegas Raiders. Melvin Gordon fumbling the ball for the scoop and score by the Raiders, and then freaking losing Javonte Williams for the year on a torn ACL. That is tough luck for the Denver running game now to rely on fumbleitis Melvin Gordon. I know Colby's going to be pissed about that because he hates Melvin Gordon with a passion for all the fumbles that he's put on the ground for Denver. Whew, but the Colts, you said, are going to be without Darius Leonard, right, Dallas? Yeah. Fortunately, though, this game around, I'm gonna have to take Denver. I like Denver at home, and depending on if DeForest Buckner and the other players and Kwity Paye can get after Wilson, we'll see what happens with this one. But I just gotta favor Denver. If Colts are without Darius Leonard, they're gonna be in trouble. But anyway, I gotta pick Denver.
Denver to bounce back and get to 3-2. The Colts, I'm just not impressed with them this year. They're very disappointing so far.
Yeah. Yeah, Colts have been one of the disappointing teams. All right. Up next, we got London game number 2. We got the New York Giants taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in Tottenham Hotspur in London for the second London game of the year. Packers just escaped at home against Bailey Zapp and the New England Patriots in an overtime win. Mason Crosby, final seconds of overtime, just kicked it through to give the Packers the 27-24 win. What a game that was between the Packers and Patriots, man. Didn't expect that game to go to overtime. Say what, Dallas? Yeah. Meanwhile, the New York Giants barely escaped at home against the Chicago Bears in MetLife Stadium wearing their throwback colors to one of their Super Bowl teams, man. Whew, Whew, man, that was a good game to see too. During our game, granted, we were flipping back and forth between the Hawks game and Red Zone, even though we weren't live for it too. But that was a good game. But they're taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I'm taking the Packers in London. Give me Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay to get a win in London. Yeah, sorry about.
That's the 3-1 team I've ever seen.
Yeah, sorry about Dallas's phone connection, guys, in his new apartment. All right, up next we got the Detroit Lions going to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. The Patriots could not get it done with Bailey Zapp and let the Packers get in the field goal range for Mason Crosby to kick it through. Lost in overtime in Green Bay. Lions outdueled by Geno Smith. Jared Goff got outdueled by Geno Smith and our Seattle Seahawks in Detroit, dropping that 48-45 game, which we took in Detroit. So definitely was a fun game to watch. Got on the scoregami for that one, like I mentioned earlier. So definitely was a great win for our Seahawks. But they're going to New England, taking on the Patriots. And Patriots with a bunch of struggles. And, Detroit's defense struggling too. And Mac Jones still going to be out. But Bailey Zapp didn't look bad. But the Patriots got a better defense. And we'll see if the Lions are going to get DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown back this game. Man.
They should have it back.
If they got him back, I'm taking Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit have not been blown out yet. Been competitive in every game, so I like Detroit a little bit better because I think Mac Jones is going to miss several weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions.
Yeah.
Granted, as much as it's hard for me to pick against Bill Belichick, I just got to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Lions have they've been competitive despite their 1-3 record.
Yeah, and they've been playing well. They've been competing for Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has his team competing in each and every game they've been in this year. All right. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Chargers took care of their business against the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, the Browns could not get it done against Atlanta, and Atlanta kicked the game-winning field goal, winning it 23-20, dropping that game to Atlanta. So the Cleveland Browns are they 2-2?
And this is a rematch of that.
A rematch of what?
That shootout. It's like 47-40. The Chargers won that one.
Yeah, in LA. Whew. Yeah, I got Chargers winning in Cleveland. Give me the Chargers.
Give me the Chargers to get back-to-back wins and get to 3-2.
Yep. Up next, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Texans got beat by the Chargers, and the Jaguars choked a 14-0 lead to the Philadelphia Eagles. Hence, the Eagles are the only undefeated team left. Too easy. Give me Jacksonville.
He's swept them. Houston was one of the worst teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah, agreed. Up next, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As we mentioned, the Falcons took care of their business against the Browns. The Buccaneers lost to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Tampa. Chiefs getting a little revenge for Super Bowl 55. Mahomes was on fire and just got out the gate early when they fumbled the opening kickoff. And it was just nonstop Kansas City from there. But I got the Buccaneers bouncing back against the Falcons. I always favor Tom Brady in this matchup against the Falcons. I'm taking the Buccaneers. Give me Tampa. You going Tampa? Whew. All right. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, sorry about Dallas's phone connection, guys. Whew, but you're going Buccaneers as well?
Yeah, give me Bucs.
Yep. All right, up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Orchard Park in Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Pittsburgh Steelers almost finally benched Trubisky and got Kenny Pickett in the game, but could not get it done at home against the New York Jets, dropping that game to New York. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills, incredible comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. Came back from a 23 deficit, ended up winning that game 23-20, I think. That was the final score in that one. Buffalo still missing Micah Hyde out for the year, which is a big blow to their defense. They really have to get that safety position fixed big time because losing Micah Hyde for the year was a big time blow. But, they're taking on Pittsburgh, young quarterback. and Kenny Pickett, and Pittsburgh's just got a lot of growing pains going on here. I'm going to do this. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. Lock of the week. Dallas? Say what? Oh yeah, you got. I remember that Week 1 game where the Bills dropped it to the Steelers too. So yep. So you going Buffalo? All right, going Buffalo. Dallas. All right. Up next, we got the Miami Dolphins going to New York, taking on the Jets. The Miami Dolphins got their first loss of the season in Cincinnati to the Cincinnati Bengals. Tua Tagovailoa got slammed hard and was taken off the field on a stretcher to the hospital. I hope Tua's all right. So now the Dolphins have to start Teddy Bridgewater. Meanwhile, the New York Jets got a rare win in Pittsburgh with Zach Wilson at quarterback catching a touchdown. The first Jets quarterback in history to catch a touchdown pass. Not even Joe Namath did it. And they were able to claw their way back against the Steelers and survive Kenny Pickett for the win. Miami's defense, though, they took on Cincinnati's starting to refine their form. So, and it was hard for them to just complete the game without having Tua out there. That was a big blow for them. And I think, is he still going to be out? Is Tua still going to be out? Dallas? So as we were saying, we're on Dolphins and Jets right now, and if Tua's out, then that's still a big blow. But I still like the Dolphins defense in this game against the New York Jets. So what do you think, Dallas? Do you think the Dolphins can still get it done with
take Miami?
Even with Teddy Bridgewater? Yeah, I'm taking Miami too. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears could not hang with New York, and the Giants were able to get their win against the Chicago Bears. And Chicago Bears, granted with Justin Fields kind of having a little bit of improvement, I just don't see it with them still, Meanwhile, the Vikings barely got away and were lucky to get that double doink against the New Orleans Saints in London. I'm taking Minnesota to beat the Bears here. Give me Minnesota. Yeah? Yeah. All right, up next, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Washington Commanders. Titans took care of their business against the Colts, and the Washington Commanders got pistol whipped by Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. I got Tennessee taking care of their business against the Commanders, and Derrick Henry keeps on running over people. Give me the Titans. You going Titans? You going Titans? All right. Up next, we've got the 49ers taking on the Carolina Panthers. The 49ers with a big win over the Los Angeles Rams. 49ers just always seem to have the Rams number in the regular season. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers last week, the Panthers just could not hang with Kyler Murray, and they were hanging in there for a little bit, but then the Cardinals just pulled away and did their thing by beating Carolina. No loss for Panthers. That ends the Arizona Cardinals losing streak to the Carolina Panthers. And I got the Panthers losing back-to-back. Give me San Francisco. You going 49ers as well? All right. Yeah? Dallas, you still there? All right. I might want to step outside, man. Step outside really quick, man. So we can... That way, hopefully, it connects a little better. Up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. The Eagles are the only undefeated team left as they took care of their business, coming back from behind against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, the Cardinals ended their losing streak to the Carolina Panthers. And, got a couple more weeks left in that DeAndre Hopkins suspension, but every team in the NFC West is 2-2. Surprisingly so, man. But anyway, Philadelphia, like I said, Jalen Hurts is just getting it together. He is just rolling with his targets, and he's rolling with his legs, scoring a couple of touchdowns against Jacksonville on their comeback. And I'm actually going to take the Eagles to get to 5-0 against Arizona in Arizona. I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, give me the Eagles as well. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
They look like they could be a legitimate threat in the NFC this year.
Yeah, Philly is looking good, and Nick Sirianni, man, coming from the Frank Reich coaching tree, I like the way Sirianni is running the Eagles right now. He is doing a fantastic job with Jalen Hurts, and Eagles definitely won that A.J. Brown trade, too. And Devontae Smith is looking good, too. And then, of course, you got Dallas Goedert thriving at tight end, and the Eagles' defense. Oh, lost Dallas. So, yeah, once again, sorry, lost Dallas there. So, yep. So, Dallas and I are picking Philly to get to 5-0. We really like what we're seeing out of Philly this year. Dallas?
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Cowboys, Cooper Rush, 4-0 as a starter. And the Cowboys, obviously their lone loss still being against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, the Rams got manhandled by the 49ers again in the regular season. Every NFC West team is 2-2. And, with the Cowboys, I like the way Cooper Rush is playing, man. Just the way he's got them winning with Dak Prescott's absence. Who knows? Maybe he could still potentially take the starting quarterback job. Jerry Jones is keeping the quarterback competition still open, even with, I know they paid Dak all that money, but if Cooper Rush steals the starting job, that would be pretty crazy to see. And meanwhile, the Rams, he's got a tough challenge taking on a pissed-off Rams team that laid that egg against the 49ers. And, for this week, I'm going to take the LA Rams to bounce back and take out their frustration on the Cowboys at home in SoFi Stadium. I'm taking LA.
Yeah, give me LA to bounce back and get to 3-2. They need to get some things figured out, though.
Yeah,
they do not look right now.
They don't. All right. Up next, Sunday Night Football. Cincinnati Bengals going to Baltimore, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals bounce back and knock Tua out and got a big win against the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens choked against the Buffalo Bills. I gotta say, the Ravens look like they have... All right, so Bengals versus Ravens. Like I said, the Ravens just don't look right now,
Yeah, their defense blowing 2 huge leads this year.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Cincinnati...
Harbaugh with another bad coaching decision.
Yeah, Harbaugh should be on the hot seat with his coaching decisions, to be honest. But Cincinnati got a bounce-back win. Granted, they knocked Tua out of the game for the Dolphins. And Cincinnati, they're just finding a way to get rolling again and get back on pace in the AFC North. And, they want to... Who knows what will happen for them the rest of the season. The Bengals will be interesting to watch, especially with the way they started the season. But, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Cincinnati to roll into Baltimore and get a win in Baltimore against the Ravens. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals, too. I just like them a little bit more right now.
Yep. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders got their first win of the season at home against the Denver Broncos. The Raiders just own the Broncos. They just have owned them in recent history. And all I got to say for that, thank you, Las Vegas. Handing Denver that L. We need Denver to keep losing so that way we can have a high first-round draft pick. Thank you, Las Vegas. All right, so we're on the last game, Raiders-Chiefs, and I'm taking Kansas City. Dallas?
Taking the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, like I said, it's just going to be tough making game picks this year with the freaking phone service at Dallas' new area. But I'm just going to finish it off right here. There's the picks right here. We got Broncos over Colts, Packers over Giants, Lions over Patriots, Chargers over Browns, Jaguars over Texans, Buccaneers over Falcons, Bills over Steelers, Dolphins over Jets, Vikings over Bears, Titans over Commanders. Unfortunately, knock on wood, hope that we can beat the Saints, but I got the Saints over the Seahawks. I got the 49ers over Panthers, Eagles over Cardinals, Rams over Cowboys, Bengals over Ravens, and Chiefs over Raiders. And that's pretty much it for our Week 5 picks. Let's see how much better we do this week. Granted, we had a good week last week with 10-6.
Yeah, we did. 10-6.
All right. Yeah, once again, sorry about all the phone problems, guys, but thank you all for tuning in. Drop your picks in the comments down below. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll be back in the next one with a recap. Catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous, and as always, go Seahawks.